Hello friends, today's video is going to be the first of many. So many of you have been requesting my arm workout, and I did ask for you to put in the comments the last video how you wanted to see it. Now these videos will never be short videos, so if you are in a rush, you'll have to save the videos and really put some effort into following along when you do have some time, because my workouts are usually an hour long. I do work one or two muscle groups every single time I go to the gym. I'm always changing the muscle groups. I never work the same muscle groups 2 days in a row. I take 2 days off from the gym. I walk every single day, but 5 days are spent weight training. And for me, it has worked. I was doing 6 days and I realized my body needed rest. Rest is important. All your hard work is not going to just mean nothing because you took a day off. It is important to eat protein, and your diet must support what you are trying to do. If you are just going to eat garbage, you're not going to be able to work that off. And you know, your muscles may get stronger, but I don't know that you're going to get the look you want. So protein and fiber, I can't stress how important it is. So today's workout is going to be the shoulders. I try to work front, side, and back. And I do the same workout, the same movements that I have been doing for the last 2 years. I have just changed the weight and my reps. The stronger I get, the heavier I can go, and I aim for 8 to 10 reps. Now today I did a little bit more because I was only working out with 12-pound weights because I don't have 15-pound weights. I have a 15-pound kettlebell, but I don't have two 15-pound free weights. Not that I could find down in the basement, my friends. All right, so highly requested. Again, this workout is catered to me, a 65-year-old woman who has extreme tendonitis in my elbows. And many people will ask me, these are Doc Miller, they're in my Amazon store. I do wear 2 pair. And it is very important to measure your arm. These are extremely tight on me. You can see that my arms are puffing out because they are extremely tight. If you don't have them tight, they aren't going to help you. I know people are going to ask in the comments. I wear 2 different types of sports bra. This one here doesn't have a lot of support, and these are just from Marshalls. They're that Rika brand. You know, I like them, they're fine. And the ones that I really like are the V-neck in the Honey Love. It really supports. It might give you uni boob, okay? You do have to make sure you're buying the right size, but I think for exercising they are excellent. And my top is one of my Target tanks. Now I don't wear these all the time, but I did for today's video. And my bottoms, which I have raved about before, are from Honey Love. I just love these. They support you. They have a nice panel on the side. They also have a pocket if you're somebody who likes to put your phone in there, or you need tissue when you're working out. They are squat proof, meaning you can't see anything, so you're not exposing the junk, my friends. I think I have rambled on enough. Let's get on with the video. I'm going to do a voiceover. And remember, I'm only sharing 1 set with you. Pause the video and do 3 sets. You want to go for 3 sets. I actually do 5 sets. So, and it's important to have water with you, as I mentioned, and it's also important to rest. Now, instead of resting in between sets, I will sometimes do some core workout, but it is important. And my workout, this took me over an hour to do, just my shoulders. In the gym, I'd say my workout with stretching is about 52 to 56 minutes. That's all the time I have, because we get home, we eat breakfast, we take the girls out, and then in Buffalo here, we only have 1 car, so I take Lou to the golf course, and so I can run some errands while he's golfing. And that is it. I always wear my watch to time my workouts. In this one, I burned 298 calories, and my heart rate did go up a little bit higher today. I think because it's warmer in the house here than usual. So that is it. All right, my friends, enjoy. And if you like this video, I will continue on. I'll do bicep, tricep, I'll do, what else is there? A little bit of chest. I don't really do a lot of chest. I'm really bad at that. Although my chest has built up a little bit because of all the other exercise. You're always working secondary muscles when you're, after, I mean, my main muscles today were here, but a little bit of tricep and bicep gets in there. I work with bands and free weights and machines. See you in a minute. Okay, so first off, let's talk about equipment we need. This is what I have at the home. I usually work out in the gym, but we are going to make do with this. I am lacking 15 pounds and 20 pound weights. So I have 12 pound weights, 10 pounds, 8 pounds, because believe it or not, different parts of your body are stronger than others, and you're going to need to go up in weight or down in weight. It all depends. If you have ailments you're working around, you are going to want to pick the appropriate weight for you. As I'm doing these exercises, do not think that you can use 12 pounds if I am, if you are somebody who's just beginning. Your starting may be 5 pounds. They also have 7 pounds, 9 pounds, 6 pounds, 1 pound weights. It all depends on your specific needs. So I have 12, 10s, 8s, I have 5, I have 3, and I have 2 pounds. I have a 15 pound kettlebell. I have bands. I love bands, especially for finishing, really burning out the muscle. And that's our goal, to really burn the muscle we're working. I have bands. I'm going to go and get some more. I have a few more bands. But these are loop bands, and they are, I use these for arm workouts. And then these are loop bands that I use for my leg workout. I have a 4 pound ball here. These come in 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And this is part of my ab workout. These are just extra loop bands I have, and that's a loop band as well. And you need some water. It's important to hydrate. So let's get started. I did want to mention these, I forgot. So this right here is something that I use with my bands when I'm working out at home, which I don't do much anymore, but if there's a hurricane or if there's a blizzard, and we're in Buffalo, hurricane in Florida, then I will be forced to work inside the home. But this here is a loop, and you stick this in the door. You'll see when I'm working out, and then you put your band here, and it allows you to do a band workout. And this is just another form of it. It has a little knot so that you can close that on the door, and then you have a loop to put your bands through. All right, so you'll see me in action when I start to use it. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna do a little bit of stretching, only because I'm not a big stretcher, my friends. But I do stretch my shoulders, or I take a few minutes to stretch the muscle I'm working. But because I have a slight tear in my rotator cuff, I do stretch my shoulder slightly. Here, I am stretching my tendons. I was taught this by my physical therapist to do before and after I work out. So I am religious, very dedicated to my tendons, because if my tendons start acting up, I'm finished. So I do just a few minutes of stretching, and I bend my hands up, I bend them down, extending the arms straight out, and that helps to stretch the tendons. And after I'm done with this, we're gonna go in and start with the weights. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my friends, I do not know the names of all the exercises I'm doing. So you'll just have to follow along, and I'm just gonna give you a couple of tips as we go. So here I have my 12 pounds, and I'm going to be working on my shoulders. I help lift them up. So now I'm leaning back in the chair. If you have a bench, have it on an incline and lean slightly back. This helps to stack the weights where you want them. You don't want to pull your elbows straight out to the side and just start lifting above your head. You can hurt your rotator. It puts a lot of pressure on the rotator cuff. So I lean back, and I just bring my elbows up slightly, like facing, going towards my breast, and then I start to lift. So my elbows are just slightly in front of me, and I'm leaning back just slightly. And I'm doing probably I do 16 reps here, and I do 3 sets. Now I'm moving the weights forward. My elbows are squeezing in, and I'm just lifting up and down, still in the incline position, and I'm doing 10. because my muscles are fairly fatigued already from the first set. So now when I move in, this is kind of a finisher for me, but it's not a finisher. We're just beginning, my friends. But I do both these different exercises for my shoulders, and I repeat 3 times. So now I have the 12 pounds again, and I'm going to be working on the side delt, and it also works the shoulder. So you notice I always round my shoulders back. That just helps to set my shoulders and keep them down. You do not want them pushing up to your elbows. And I'm just lifting up to the side, my elbow, my arms are slightly in front of me, lifting up and down, up and down. And I do 15 reps of this, 3 sets, my friends. So pause the video and continue to do this. Or you can go through the video and then go back and do it 3 more times, but you may not want to. And you can also just pick exercises to do. Now I'm working rear delt. Notice that when I'm down, in the down position, they are slightly out in front of me. They are not hanging straight down from my body. And then think about pulling your elbows up, not your hands. And just really get a good extension and pull back up. Good extension, pull back up. Think about the muscle you're working. All right, so here we're still working with the 12 pound, and I believe I'm gonna do 1 arm shoulder raises. And the trick to this one for me is, again, I cannot stack my shoulder straight out. I have to bring it in slightly towards my chest, and just a slight angle, and then lift up. And I believe for the single arm, I'm doing 12 reps, 3 sets, 12 pounds. Think about the muscle. Think about what you're doing, and you want to really fatigue that muscle. We're going to move to the other side and do the exact same thing. Whatever you do on one side, you must do on the other. And I'm not leaning my body forward. See how still my body is? You do not want to create momentum, allowing your body to lift the weights for you. You want to think about that shoulder muscle lifting that weight for you. If you do them correctly, you will be burning at this point. You'll notice I get an Elvis lip. I start making faces. That's part of the game. All right, so now I have moved down to the 10-pound weight. And what am I going to do here, my friends? Notice I rolled those shoulders back. Oh, I'm going to do my W press. This again is working the shoulder. You want a nice round shoulder, so you have to work all angles of it. So I'm just making a small W. And notice I'm not coming all the way down to my waist. I'm just making a W and going up. And I believe I do 10 of these with the 10-pound waist, and you want to do 3 sets of those. Now I'm doing what I call the shoulder shrug. I'm leaning slightly forward and pulling that weight up. And this is with the 12 pounds again. And with the 12 pounds, I believe I'm doing 10 to 12 reps here. Just follow along with me and you'll have the rep count. Now I have a 15-pound kettlebell. Now you need to be very careful when doing this one. I put the kettlebell in front of my thigh and then pull straight up my body. Don't yank it out to the side of you. You're pulling it straight up your body using your delt muscles, your shoulder muscle. And this is 15 pounds. Again, work at your own pace. You might be using a 5-pound for this. Switch arms and do it all over again. And I think I'm doing 10 reps here, and I only do 2 sets of these. You notice as I go along, I might do less sets because I'm really fatiguing the muscle out. And then throughout my workout towards the end, you'll notice that I lower the weights and I really do burn out the muscle. So I'm going for complete fatigue, my friends, complete fatigue. So now I'm going to work on the rear delt. Again, look at the way the arm is extended out and slightly in front of me, and I'm using my shoulder to lift up. So I'm thinking about bringing my elbow up. I'm not thinking about bringing my hand up. So just really keep your back flat, support on your knee with your other arm, and lift up, thinking about pushing that shoulder up, bringing the shoulder up. And you'll do the other side, of course. And you want to go at a good pace for you. Don't rush it. Usually I'm a little faster on the up than I am on the down, but if you can control it, you're going to get better use out of that muscle. I need a little break. Let's take some water. Have your water next to you, and remember, in between each set, you do want to rest. Now this is working the front delt, but it's also working a little bit of my core. It's with the 15 pound, and notice my body's not moving at all. Only my arms are moving, and I'm keeping my shoulders pushed down. And this is working the front delt. You want the front, the side, and the rear to have a beautiful, rounded shoulder. So now I have the kettlebell and I'm doing overhead shoulder presses. And I believe I do 10 reps. And then I will repeat this 3 times during the workout. So now we are moving on, and I've dropped down to my 10-pound weights, and this is, I don't know, I call this like a fly, but it's a little more open than when I was sitting on the chair. And when you stand up and you do your weights, you are also really engaging your core to stabilize your body, because we don't want to be jerking all around. So we're keeping our shoulders down, and we're just raising. Now my arms are slightly in front of me. And I need some more water, my friends. I hope to get better at this if these are successful. Okay, so now I've dropped down to the 8 pounds. Now notice my wrists are curled under, and I'm lifting up to the side. Curling the wrist under isolates the shoulder muscle, the delts. If you just leave your hands drop down and flare it out, you're engaging your traps then. So roll the hands under and lift up slightly in front of you, and you will notice that you are burning that delt out. So now I'm going to drop down to the 5-pound weights. This is where I'm starting to just fatigue the muscle out. I pretty much repeat the same thing. Because in the gym, remember, I'm using sometimes 25-pound weights, sometimes 20-pound weights. So my muscles are already exhausted. So I go in with lighter weights and really fatigue it. I mean, my shoulders are on fire right now. And I'm not even halfway done, my friends, because I have to work the rear delt as well. And then I'm going to incorporate some bands for you. But keep those wrists tucked in. Pull the hands in. And you see, I'm really concentrating on keeping my shoulders pulled down because I want to hug them right up to my ears, but keep them down. So now I'm moving in. I think these are the 3 pounds. I think I show you. These are 3 pound. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Wrist curled under. Notice I pulled my arms out slightly, and then I went into it. You don't want to come all the way down to your hip. You want to leave a little bit of that gap, because then you put a nice stretch on the deltoid and you really keep it engaged throughout the whole workout. And that's the point of working out. You need to fatigue. Create those tiny, tiny little tears in the muscle so that they rebuild themselves. And that's what they're doing. They will rebuild themselves. So these are the lightest weights. I think these are the 2-pounders. I may be wrong. Shoulders rounded back, repeating the exact same thing, but with a lighter weight. Before I move on to another area or using bands. I like to fatigue the muscle, my friends. I love a shapely arm. Love it. And I'm working even harder now to give it even more shape, to define the muscles even more. But your diet is very, very important. If your diet is all junk, you're never going to lean out the way you want to. All right, so now I have a band, and I am stepping on it with both feet, and I'm just pulling up, doing shoulder shrugs, keeping the band close to my body, pulling my arms straight up from my body. I'm not all over the place. I'm pulling straight up, engaging the delt muscles, the shoulder muscles. Now I think I'm going to move on to I'm back to I think these are the 5-pounders. And I'm going to move into some rear delts, I believe. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm still working on the front. Keep the weights together. Pull together in front of you. Lean slightly forward, flat back, and lift up. You're still working on the front delt. And you want to only go up. I'm going up a little too far here, but I'm beat. Now we're going to pull out to the side. Notice the angle of the weights. We're working rear delt, and these are just like rear flies. But notice that I have the weights turned sideways in my hand. Okay, and what am I going to do now? Oh, okay. We're holding the weights. Notice my hand position. It's just another way to incorporate the rear delt, only I'm going slightly out in a V. So my arms aren't going straight back. They're going up into almost a V while keeping my back flat and my shoulders off of my ears. So this one I saw someone doing, and I thought it was interesting. So one weight's in front, the other is behind, and you're going just straight up. Try to keep your body straight up, your shoulders pulled down, and just push that weight up and back. And think about the rear delt. And you'll do the same thing on the other side. With these, I'm only doing 2 sets on each side. So when I'm doing my burnout phase, I'm only doing 2 sets of each. All right, so here I have the weights together and I'm standing straight up. And I'm just pulling the weight up. So again, I'm back on the front delt. Keep the shoulders pulled down. Right about now, you're clenching them, you're pushing them way up to your ears, so pull them back down. And when you're doing this one, you're also working core. Any standing weights? Okay. Turn the weights facing forward, and you're coming across your body on an angle. This is really getting the front delt with a little bit of the side delt in there. But make sure it's crossing in front of your body. Using a challenging weight, one that you can barely finish the last set. That's what you're looking for. That's how you find the correct weight. If you can breeze through and do 20, 25, 15 without feeling anything, that weight's too light for you. You need to go up to the next weight and see. And that's why 8 to 10 reps is pretty much where I am in the gym. When I'm lifting 25 pounds, I can only do maybe 5 reps. All right, so now I have the weights pulled in front of me on an angle, and I'm making a V in the front of me. Again, we're just exhausting out the delt muscles. But you want to make sure that you move your hands in different positions, because then you incorporate different parts of the shoulder. You want to make sure that you're using front and back, and you want to make sure that you're doing the top of it, the bottom of it, the long, the short. There's all kinds of things in there. And like I said, I'm not a professional, but I watch a lot of professionals and I learn from them. So now I've just lightened the weights, and I'm going to go through and do the same. Now this is a Pilates move that I'm doing, and I'm just serving a platter, serving a platter, serving a platter. And it's just pushing it out in front of you, like you're saying, would you like some hors d'oeuvres? And you push the platter in front of people. This is a Pilates move that I think is really worth trying. Now here, I'm pulling out into a front V. So my arms are in front of me and I'm just going in a V. You want to make sure that you do all of these because it will help to round the shoulder. And if you're not, now here I'm going into the side delt and I'm not stopping. I just keep on going so that I'm almost exhausted. You see how my shoulders want to pull up here? That's because this muscle is so tired right now, but that's what you want. And if you don't want to do all the varieties of these exercises, pick the ones that appeal to you, find the right weight, do 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12, 3 sets of 8, whatever you want that challenges you. And here I'm just finishing up some rear delt. Same moves as I did before, I just lightened the weight up because I want to make sure that all angles of the shoulder are tired. That's what you're going for. Like, I can't do another one. But you can. You can. And be aware of the things on your body, your ailments. Be aware, because I don't want you doing something I'm doing if it hurts you. And again, back V's. This is like a V backwards. I'm bent over, back is flat, shoulders are rounded down, and I'm working on the rear delt. And I have to work even more on my rear delt because I was so focused for so long on the side and the front that I neglected the rear. So in the gym, I do a lot of machines that help me with the rear, but here I'm just doing what I know with my free weights. I'm not an expert, my friends. I learned just like you all are learning now. And some of you out there are experts, and we all get there at some point. All right, so now I'm going into my small looped bands, and these come in all different weights, and I start with the heaviest. Well, I think I'm starting with the third heaviest here. And these are just finishers for me before I move on to something else. So if you have weight, if you have some looped bands, they really do help. Now this is just a move physical therapist taught me for my rotator cuff. It's important to keep your elbows pinned to your sides. I'm a little sloppy right here. Keep them pinned in. You want them to stay in place. And this is just really getting into the tiny little details of the rotator cuff. That's how it was explained to me. And then here I'm pushing out with the weight. That helps to strengthen the side delt. And I just have the light weights here, but this is the third strongest band. So now I'm moving down. This band's even lighter than the last one until I get to the lightest band and have fatigued it up. Don't stop now, my friends. Keep going with me. Keep going with me. Keep the elbows pinned in, palms facing the ceiling, and just use the wrist to really open it up. Don't use your hands. Keep the elbows pinned in. That's the most important thing you can do right here. And now we're going to do those shoulders. So down in front of you and just push out. Don't lose tension on the band. Always keep tension on the band. Tension on the band means tension on the muscle. And you only do as many as you can do because at this point you are extremely exhausted. But keep moving, my friends, because we are not done yet. We are only halfway through. Again, you do not have to do all of the exercise. You can break this up into 2 days. So on Mondays, do this exercise, and then Thursdays, do it again. All right, so I've just lowered the weight of the band now, and I'm doing the exact same thing. And pushing out. I mean, it is burning right now, my friends. Burning. All right, so now I'm going to get the long loop band, and I'm just going to connect it to the bottom of the chair by doing a loop. And I'm just going to do some band forward raises. And this is just, again, helping to really fatigue the front delt. Now this is my little door thingy that I ordered. Everything will be listed and linked below for you. You want to make sure that your door closes the way mine closes. You don't want a door that pulls open. You put that in, and now you attach your band, and I'm going to do face pulls. And this is working the back of the arms. A little bit of the back gets involved. But see, that's what I mean. When you're working out, some of your other muscles are secondary muscles, and they're engaging as well. But your core is engaged here. Your butt is engaged because the butt's part of the core. Believe it or not, strong butt, strong core. Some might disagree. And here, I'm just doing pushbacks with the band. And you can see every single muscle that it is working. I'm really trying to build up my rear delts. And bands have always been a part of my workout. When I first started, and I really couldn't do a lot because of my tendons, I used bands. I love bands. They're not going to build a muscle the way weights do, free weights and machines, but they serve a purpose, and I love them. Here I have a Spree medium band, and I'm just gonna, attach it to something stable in my home. And again, now these are gonna work the rear delt. One, I have it shorter in my left hand and longer in my right hand, so most of the band is in my right hand. And I pull it to give myself a good tension, and you can see all the fibers that it's working. I love this exercise. I love it. I've been doing it for 2 years now. I love it. And if you want it to be more challenging, you can move up in the band. If a medium's too much, move down in your band. They make light, medium, heavy, and super heavy. Here I'm just doing some pullbacks, again, to work the rear. I do a lot of this stuff when I'm working my back as well. And this is the lighter version of the Spree bands. This is the light. And here I'm going to step on it with one foot, and I'm going to do front raises and side raises. This is a V, again, working the side. You can actually see, if you're looking at my shoulders, you can see all the cuts, so you can see where it is actually working. And the more I clean up my diet, the more I will lean out. And then I just go forward, and then I alternate. This is just to really show you some things you can do with the band. Don't underestimate the power of the bands, my friends. They do work. And then here I'm just going to do a stretch, and this is going to help stretch my shoulders out. And I really concentrate on this because I don't want to hurt the tear that's already in my rotator cuff. But I just pull the band in front, and then I extend it out. And this is such a good stretch for the shoulders. And I always end with this because it really, and then I'll do a side stretch. And you just hold it for however long you want. It depends on the time you have to put into it. What you can do. That's why I said, if you can't do the whole video and you can't do all of the exercises I'm doing, then you pick and choose from this video. Now here I'm just doing a little bit of I'm making circles behind my back, and then I alternate the direction that I go. And then you will see I do another exercise that a physical therapist taught me, and this is to finish out to help my rotator cuff. Sometimes I will even do this in between sets, to really keep my rotator cuff okay. So I'm just pulling the band, and I'm just circling around. Here I'm moving back, and then I'll move it forward. And I just count to 10, 15, 20, depends on how much time I have. And then I will stand forward and do the same thing. This, I believe, has really helped stabilize my rotator cuff. I used to sleep on it wrong, and it would bother me. Not anymore. It's really, I'm really strengthening everything around, but I really love this stretch. So if you have a rotator cuff issue, you might want to try this stretching. And then you do it forward, and then you do it sideways. Your body is standing straight up, and you should have a slight pull on the arm. And then you just go forward and backwards. And then I think we're going to move over to the living room again, and I'm just going to finish up with the stretches. Again, these are the stretches that I start with, I finish with. And I just hold the stretch for a count of 10 or 15, sometimes 20. But notice my shoulder isn't hugging my ear, it's pulled down, and I bring the arm in. This is a really good stretch. I also have another one that I do that I use the wall, but I didn't do it in this video. I think that I'm just pulling my arms back here just to get a good stretch, lifting them up slightly. But I'm going to, if this video is successful, then I will do a back video, I will do a tricep bicep video. I don't know how much of a leg video I could do because I do a lot of machines, so that might have to be in the gym. But maybe I can figure out how to incorporate some of it from a home workout. We'll see. But got to see how these go over, because these take some time. They're a lot of work. And I don't mind doing them at all. I do hope that you all keep in mind that I am not a professional, because I know there are people out there that they're either legends in their own mind, or they actually are physical therapists or personal trainers that will find something wrong with what I'm doing. But this has worked for me, and my body composition is changing, and I have been injury-free for 2 years now. So I'm okay with the things I am doing. All right, my friends, that is it for today's workout. And this workout was geared around my ailments. I have very bad tendons and I have a slight tear in my shoulder. So I have tweaked this workout to work for me. So all you personal trainers, keep it in mind when you head to the comment section. And also aim for 8 to 10 reps. They should be challenging. Your form is important. Move at a slower pace. Don't rush the weights. Push up, control down. You don't want to hurt yourself. You're trying to build muscle. If you hurt yourself, it's not going to do you any good, my friends. It's not. I work out at my pace. I am going to be 65 in November. Those of you who have been with me for a very long time, you have watched me change my body. It can be done. I have no personal trainers helping me, although if you're somebody that knows absolutely nothing, a personal trainer, a good one that works with you, one that listens, one that is going to help you with your ailments. Some of us have bad backs. I have a bad sciatica. You will never see me do free weights using lunges or squats, because my form is not perfect. But if I use machines or bands, it does help me out. So always work at your own pace. I am not a professional in any way, shape, or form. I have built muscle though. And again, I usually will, like my shoulder presses in the gym are usually about 20 pounds. I think I said all that. So I'm not gonna repeat myself because this video is long. Save the video. When on your shoulder days, this is the workout you should do. If you're doing it and challenging yourself, and that's another thing about working out, you don't need to change it up all the time. I've been doing these same exercises for 2 years now. I have just increased my weight. So if you start out with 3 to 5 pounds, be proud of yourself. 3 to 5 pounds is better than nothing at all. And then before you know it, you will be lifting 5 where you were lifting 3 and 8 where you were lifting 5. And remember, weights do come in increments of 6, 7, 8. The gym we go to here in Buffalo, they actually have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pound weights. And then of course they have the full rack of all of the heavy guns. But you know, just work at your own pace. I can't stress that enough. Make sure your form is proper. You don't want your shoulders bunched up. You want to make sure you round them out, Keep your posture as perfect as possible. Engage your core. If you need a chair to do the exercises, then by golly, you use a chair. Do not let anyone intimidate you in the gym or at home. All right, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love to have you as an ageless beauty. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You may as well tap that bell, but I don't know what it does for you. And I will see you the next time. Until then, go out in the world, be lovable, and remember, it is okay to love our age, and we can achieve anything we set our minds to. I did. All right, my friends, I love you all. Bisous.